We're going to learn as much as humanly possible in a short of time as possible to give you some insight as to what D R Horton has to offer you. There are a lot of builders out there, so the purpose of this video is to kind of let you know, kind of put in a nutshell what D R Horton has to offer you. So today I have my good friend, my D R Horton agent that I deal with primarily. His name is Dennis, and we're out here in the Evergreen community in Holly Hill, just coincidentally. And like I said, we're basically going to go over all the features and functions that D R Horton has to offer, try to put it in a nice, neat, pretty bow for you, just so you know kind of what you're getting yourself into. So with that being said, as far as D R Horton is concerned, you know, they do have a large footprint in the area. We'll go into that here shortly. First and foremost, you know, a lot of people are price driven these days. In this market, price is very important. So what kind of price range can people expect when it comes to D R Horton homes?
Yeah, so our homes start right now in the mid 200s, which is competitive like crazy in the market here in Charleston today. That community that we start in the mid 200s is in Santee. It's our center point community. And then we've got a wide range of, you know, different floor plans, different areas and different products. So the price range will go up into about the mid 500s right now.
Okay. So a little bit of everything. So first-time home buyers, or certainly just those who are price conscious. It sounds like you've got some options, some flavors there, if you will, for the lower price points. And then depending on the area and how big the house is, of course, those would be your higher price points. Now you said north of 500,000. Mm-hmm. So what area would the $500,000 houses be in? Can you, off the cusp, can you think of that?
Absolutely. So our Hugie community, French Quarter Creek, we're finishing up on it right now, but we'll have new product in the future that will have some homes in that upper realm. The beauty of D R Horton is we're in a market where we want everybody to buy a home. We want the first-time home buyers, we want your second, third retirees, we want everybody to be able to purchase a home in that product that they want.
Perfect. Okay, great. All right, yeah, so having a variety of prices will certainly help with that situation. So, you know, if you're second, third, fourth, fifth time, you know, buyer, if you're trying to upgrade or even downgrade, sounds like there's definitely some options there as far as price points are concerned. You know, are there things in particular, like when it comes to D R Horton, are there certain things that would dictate a higher price versus a lower price? Like, for example, we're here in Evergreen in Holly Hill. I see that there are laminate countertops, so that's obviously going to make the price point go a little bit lower, right?
Absolutely. Yep. So we do our best to lower those prices down as much as possible for those first-time home buyers. So we'll have some laminate countertops. Here we still have soft close cabinets. We have gutters on our homes. We have you know, tie downs in the walls to help support the home during high winds. We have all those extra things built in the home, but we're going to lower you know, some of the qualities down a little bit to control that price. Whereas if you get into our other communities at that higher price point, you are looking at, you know, granite quartz countertops, you know, some nicer finishes with your lighting, with the overall feel of the home, with the size of the home. We have a different product here in Holly Hill and Santee with some smaller homes, and we do go up into the 2,000 square foot homes here. But in some of our other communities, you're going more into the larger homes, which of course would have a higher price point to them as well.
Gotcha. Okay. And then that kind of is a good segue into my next question with customization. Mm-hmm. As far as D R Horton is concerned, what levels of customization, what options will people have? You know, certainly if pricing is important, then customizations may or may not be an option. What what options will they have in any community as far as customization for the house?
So right now we're very spec driven as a company. What that does is that allows us to build a home more quickly and efficiently. By doing that, that lowers the cost as well. Again, our interest rates are up in the market right now, so we're doing our best to make it more affordable for our customers. And by making spec home, which is finished home with the selections that we've provided within the home, it drives that price down a little bit there. So not a whole lot of customization options. There are builders out there that do that, but they charge the price in order to do that as well. So that's how we're going to separate ourselves from some of the other builders.
Perfect. Okay, and with that being said, if D R Horton is coming through inspecting the homes beforehand, before they start the builds, and they already have a solid game plan, they know exactly what they're going to build, when they're going to build it, on what lot, etc., and that's driving the price down. Sounds like the crews, the construction crews that are building these houses, with there not being any guesswork as far as what they're building and how they're building it, that's going to expedite the build process like a lot, right? There shouldn't be any issues there at all. So what kind, from the ground up, brand new build, what kind of a construction time would people be looking at?
It'll vary. Just depending upon permitting in the county, cities coming into fruition there. However, we can get a home built in about 90 days.
Wow, that's awesome.
So from start to finish, that 90 days, which, you know, if we've got several different options out there for a customer, they get to pick and select which option works best for them on a finished home. And, you know, you've got people that are worried their lease may end, they may be selling their home and they've got to have a place to move into. That alleviates all of that because we've got a finished product ready to go.
Okay, and then, okay, good point. So if somebody has to sell a house, if they have to sell their home in order to purchase a new one, is D R Horton going to be willing to work with them to accommodate that? Like if their house is not even listed, but they're in the works of getting that done, or it was just listed like maybe yesterday or something like that, but they certainly have 30 to 45 days or so before they can actually sell their current property. Are they able to go into contract with a new construction build with DR? No problem.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, we will write it into the contract that they have a home to sell. There will be parameters as far as a time frame on when that needs to be done by, but we're here for the buyer. We're going to make things work, and we'll work with management to get the things done that we need to.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So to recap, it sounds like we've got a wide variety of pricing available. So correct me if I'm wrong, we're the mid twos all the way up to slightly north of 500-ish anyway, depending on the area. And as far as the footprint, I actually didn't ask about that. So what kind of an area is D R Horton encompassing at this point? How much of the greater Charleston, South Carolina area does DR actually have boots on the ground in? Where are they right now?
So right now, we're going to be in Summerville and Hugie, so close to Mount Pleasant there, all the way out to Santee. We're in Holly Hill right now, so we're pioneering the market where we're at. We're going to be moving into Hollywood, lots of expansion into the outer areas of Charleston. And D R Horton, as being the #1 builder in the United States, has the ability to, again, pioneer those areas. And we're just going to continue to expand to where, we're meeting the needs of those buyers. A lot of the buyers want to be a little bit more centrally located, but that's not where the market is going. So we're putting our foot down and making sure that we're continuing to build and able to provide for those buyers.
Sounds like D R Horton's a trailblazer, is what that sounds like.
Trailblazing it up.
That's awesome.
For sure.
That's awesome. Okay. So to recap, so we've got mid 200s to north of 500s, massive footprint. So Somerville, Hugie. Did you mention Walterboro, Ravenel?
So we're getting to those areas
That's
as well.
coming up.
Monk's Corner, we've got a couple different communities there. And good locations there as well. So right off the 52, we're only going to put homes in areas that make sense within those areas. We're not going to just have scattered homes in a random space.
Gotcha. Okay. So certainly plenty of opportunity when it comes to geography, price points. So D R Horton is going to focus less on customization, and they're going to focus more on inventory, basically. So the spec homes that they're providing, it's going to give you an opportunity to get into something that you can upgrade, you can make your own after you move in, as opposed to, say, a pre-owned home, for example, where somebody has already taken the time to make it their home. Now you have to unmake it and then make it again. So it could be costly. It most certainly will be a more timely effect. So things to take into consideration. And then one last question, as far as incentives, you mentioned earlier that you guys are constantly doing what you can, in this market with the interest rates being north of where they were a year and a half ago anyway. We're still in the healthy market, but you guys are constantly trying to combat interest rates, and you're trying to provide the most opportunity for not just first-time home buyers, but everybody, but especially first-time home buyers who are struggling with the amount of money necessary for down payment, closing costs, the interest rates we're still north of 7s these days. So all that adds up, especially once you consider price point. With all that being said, what specifically does D R Horton do to help people out in this market and in those situations?
Yeah, the biggest thing for us is making things work. And as a person who rented up until 3 years ago, I'm a huge proponent into getting people out of the renting world. When you're renting, you're not investing in yourself. And that's the biggest advantage to getting into a new home is you're investing in yourself. You're putting money into your mortgage, which is building equity over the course of time to where you can sell, upgrade, sell, move to a different area, whatever the case may be. So with D R Horton, we are offering typically your lowest interest rates that you're going to find out on the market. You may have, an average interest rate out there, but we're going to beat that with our in-house lender. We're offering reduced rates constantly to help get those customers into homes, as well as closing cost incentives. We're always going to have the highest amount in closing costs. We're going to battle things out with other builders to where we're the one that customers are going to want to go to get into their new homes.
So if I heard you correctly, as long as we communicate, as long as, so let's say a buyer comes in, they're interested in a D R Horton home, and they happen to go to a competitor. The competitor is now offering more incentives, be it more closing costs, a better rate, whatever the case may be. It sounds like, if I'm hearing you correctly, it sounds like D R Horton is more than willing, within reason, to negotiate and work with said buyer to make the deal happen.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
That might be why you guys are number one.
Probably why.
Perfect. Okay. Cool. So yeah, we've got a wide gambit of pricing available. Definitely have good geography. They've got a good footprint in the area. So in a nutshell, D R Horton's got some amazing incentives. They're going to have really good interest rates. They're going to have really good closing costs that they're going to be able to provide. And again, with the house not having a ton of frills in the first place, you're going to save a ton of money. So it just depends on what's important to you. This is kind of a highlight of what D R Horton has to offer, so hopefully this was helpful for you. But again, if you're considering if it's a relocation, an upgrade, a downgrade, empty nest status, you're trying to get into something smaller. Again, the purpose of this video is just to provide you with some details about D R Horton. So Hopefully it was helpful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Again, Alan Hefner with Keller Williams. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much. That's it.